Hi, this is Todd Christensen with MoneyFit by DRS. I so appreciate Garish for inviting me on to the Back to Basics show. Please subscribe and keep on listening. And remember, everything in life is going back to basics.
Hi, my name is Julie Wald. Thank you so much to Back to Basics for having me over. Don't forget to subscribe and to listen, and remember that everything in life is going back to
Hello, folks. My name is Girish Bally, the host for Back to Basics. Hope everything is all well from everyone's point of view. Thank you for all coming to Back to Basics. I do apologize that we were running late. I was just waiting for the guest, but then he's finally here. You know, before we start, I just wanted to thank everyone for being here and supporting me and supporting Back to Basics of what we do. And we're so close of finishing season 2 for that matter. And with your love and support, please do comment all my stuff because it does help me in the long run. In the long run, I swear to God. Thank you again, all guys. So, guys, today we are going to be talking to a person that I've not talked to him yet, but I've talked to his assistant, and he has a lot of work in his hands in a good way. He's talked about body types. He's talked about the good things and the bad things. But it's all good things, isn't it? Now, let's put it this way. When someone thinks of body types, they think of body shaming, they think of cholesterol, they think of many different bad things. But the thing is that there's nothing wrong with your body. You have to feel good. That's the main thing. I mean, that's what we're trying to do here. And definitely, let's go and bring our guest in and let's talk about body types and what exercises, what nutrition do we need to do in order to get into a happy world and a happy life. And that's just what my guest is all about. So, hi, how are you? Thanks for coming to Back to Basics.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Before we talk about the body types and all the detailed stuff about you and your life and what you do and don't do, what does Back to Basic mean to you?
Well, always I look at things from a simple perspective. When we're going back to basics, you always have to lay the proper foundation. Even in Chinese medicine, we always have simple principles that we use. And from there, even from 3rd century BC, we always go back to that foundational thing, which is keep your life simple. So if you don't use a basic foundation, then what do you have?
Yeah, that is true. That is so damn true. Thank you again for coming on the show. So before we start further, how do we address you? Do we address you as Sir Chi or
Jiao Shi in Chinese means teacher. So just a simple Jiao Shi is fine. I took on this moniker because after I retired from practice, my main focus was to teach. In ancient times, the physician was the person that actually lent his experience so that people could correct things simply without going through major procedures. So now we have surgery, we have pharmaceuticals, we have all kinds of different things. In Chinese medicine, we have acupuncture, massage, all kinds of different types of therapeutics. But if you could avoid the pitfall meaning that if we have a sign up that says danger out and you're driving on the road,
Hmm.
probably you should stop.
Hmm. That's right. That's right.
So that now, if I could give you the pitfalls and avoidances for your body type, as well as the support things for your body type,
Hmm.
then now you enjoy life. You're not in the doctor's office, you're not in a hospital, you're enjoying life. So that's really the goal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you again for answering that question. Thank you again for coming on the show, and definitely honored. I've heard so much about you. I've seen so much about you, and it's just a privilege for you to be here and me, hosting you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
so let me ask you this here. Am I right? What I just said in the beginning of the call is, when we think of body shaming, we always think negative instead of positive. I mean, what are your
Well, it just, it's all cultural perspective. So, depending upon your culture in the West, they have this kind of Adonis look, right? Everybody's supposed to look at a particular shape, or you're supposed to look, women should be thin, men should be robust and muscular. But it really, if you understand it, when you're looking at your body type, your frame is the best for you. So many times I'll talk to clients and I'll say, hey, if you have the body shape of a cheetah, then you be the best cheetah. But if I had a hippo that looked like a cheetah, I have a very sick hippo. So you want to make sure that whatever your body is, you be the best body that you can be. And so that's what we do. We identify whether you're the cheetah or the hippo or whatever other body type. And that way we can be the best for you.
Yeah, thank you again. So let me ask you this, right? I mean, from what I've known this even before this interview. There are three types of body types, aren't there? I mean, there according to the morphs, there are three types of morphs according to William Sheldon. Back
Sure.
in
That's a Western, as well as in Ayurveda, they have three types. In
yeah,
ancient China, we had five types.
okay,
So in the modern day form of the type system that I teach, we have 12 main body types. And then once you become certified in the higher levels, then there are 120.
hmm.
So it depends on what your main focus is, what you're looking at. So in the Western model, they're looking at shape for certain types of characteristics. Okay. In the ancient Chinese, we're looking for function, not just the characteristics, but function, as well as how your body is going to move and adapt through your lifetime.
Hmm.
So, for example, somebody can, as a baby, be a little bit more plump, and
Hmm.
then they start to thin out at certain ages, and then as they get older they may thin out more, or they may become more robust, depending upon their physiology and how their body functions in old age. So
So
you need to be able to discern each stage of that, but fundamentally the hippo calf still becomes the hippo, and then the later hippo still looks like a hippo, but there's just slight changes.
so basically, thank you again, by the way. The way you're explaining, when you say function, can you explain that? Because the way it sounds like that, it's more of a life cycle, the way your body changes, right, throughout your life cycle.
Correct.
So what
Correct.
can you explain
So
that?
when we're talking about function, as a baby, we start out at 120 beats to 140 beats per minute. Then, as we become more in our adolescent and adult age, we go anywhere from 80 to 90 beats per minute. Then, if you're an athlete, you go even lower, maybe 60 to 70 beats per minute. And then if you're not, then maybe as you get older, then your heart rate may go down a little bit more, or it may elevate if you're having some hypertension issues or what have you. So this is why, if you're understanding the body type, you have a reference point of why the person will change physiologically.
So thank you again, by the way. So
Mhm.
basically, can a 70-year-old or a 60-year-old have a body like a 30-year-old? Obviously, they
Absolutely. Absolutely.
can.
You
But
see
then
this all the time, sure.
you see this all the time. But then what about
Yeah.
the other way around?
Absolutely. So, depending upon, like, you'll see different rock stars, they live on the road and they don't take care of their body well. and then they start to age very rapidly. And they may gray early. They may have different types of illnesses. They may thin out. They may become more robust because why? Their body is putting on weight to actually save them. So in the body type system, we say really there's no sickness. Your body is doing certain things to alert you to certain physiological changes so that you don't die at that very moment.
Right.
Right? So
Right.
your body is radically doing things to save you at that moment. Now, it may produce cholesterol. It may raise your blood pressure. It may do a lot of things. But at that moment, you didn't die. So then now you can go to a physician, you go to a practitioner and find out why your body did those changes. And then you can address it properly.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you again. But you know, the times that we're living in today,
Yeah,
okay, we we're not supposed to body shame, and we're not supposed to say that you are fat, thin, slim,
sure,
muscular, or anything like that.
sure,
So
sure,
now it becomes a sensitive issue. So
sure.
how do you explain to people that, you know what, I think you're fat, let's go skinny, or the other
Yeah.
way around. So how do you
So in the body type system, we use very simple things. So and using a lot of the Chinese phraseology, we have yang body types, yin body types.
Hmm,
The yang body types are more thin frame,
hmm,
and the yin body types are more thick frame.
hmm,
And then we have different associated shapes that go with that. So
hmm,
then now, once you understand that phraseology, it's not about shaming anymore. It's
hmm.
just about identifying, hey, what a body type are you? And then be the best that you can be.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you again for explaining that because
Mhm.
that's a lot of questions that a lot of people they have, right?
Sure,
So
sure,
so let me ask you this, right? People they also address your cholesterol, your BP issues,
sure,
your sodium issues, right?
sure,
And your body type according to your age.
sure.
So is that how we should address it? What are your
No, no, not at all. Because first of all, when you're looking at isolating things like cholesterol, cholesterol is actually a beneficial thing for the body.
Hmm,
And cholesterol, actually, when I break up the word cholesterol, cholesterol, chole is bile, sterol is solid, comes from the Greek words. So then now, once we understand that, then actually it's just consolidated bile.
hmm,
And once we understand why is your body consolidating that bile, we have to go to an endocrine system, which is the thyroid. The thyroid is the thermostat of the body.
hmm,
So that's why the thyroid adjusts the temperature as well as the metabolism.
hmm,
So if we understand the liver is supposed to produce cholesterol, the body is supposed to produce bile, but then now why is your body producing so much? Then we need to address why. Maybe it is because of your body type. Maybe it is because your body's protecting you from certain types of things. And then we can address those issues and then begin to now bring your body back into harmony. We'll
hmm.
always look at two phases. Balance is first, then long-term balance is harmony. And that's what we're looking to do.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you again for that. You know,
Yeah.
when we are practicing ourselves to be better in life, right? I mean,
Sure,
your cholesterol going down, you're slimming
sure,
down and getting active, right?
sure.
The main thing that we focus more is laziness. So, so how do we motivate people when they want to go?
Well, the biggest thing is that we want to see what is your goal. This is the first thing we look at. And
Mm,
then when you come in and get a consult with me, I always look at the we have a consultation questionnaire. Then what is your goal? Sometimes people are just looking to now adjust their life to now be the best that they can be. So
mm,
then we talk about the four energies: sunlight, oxygen, water, and then the proper food in that order. Now, once we talk about that, is if you're coming for weight loss in that case, 70% of your body's weight is actually regulated by your respiration.
mm,
So, as much exercises that you may do, as much as all of these things, dietary changes, this is why people yo yo all the time.
mm,
Now, you regulate the respiration, and releasing of the CO2 is actually what breaks up the molecules so that your cholesterol will start to release, and now it'll actually turn into energy.
mm,
So then we can show you how to do things like that. whether it's like you're going outside, getting the proper sunlight, getting the proper respiration, oxygen, and different types of exercises, whether elongation exercises, aerobic exercises, cardio, CrossFit, doing things like walking, cycling, or even weights. Each body type needs a specific type of exercise regime in order for that exhalation process to now release the molecule so that you can want to body shape and lose weight if that's your goal. Now,
Mm.
some body types need that type of shape in order to function properly and generate the proper energy. So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just depends on what your body type is.
Yeah, thank you again for
Mhm.
explaining that, and thank
Sure,
you again for answering all that questions there.
sure.
So before we go further, I just want to explain to people that if they do want to call in and just ask a very quick question to my guest or even myself, you can call 513 900 2221, which is 513 yo B2B1, which is back to basic one, which is number
Mhm.
one always. Or you can always text. That would be the best too, also at the same time, if you don't want to speak to anybody. I wouldn't. Maybe that's what it is. So thank you again for that. So let me ask you this: How? What are the main questions that people they come to you when they have
Oh, it
issues?
could be a variety of things. I mean, I get a lot of consults that referred from either their physician, either
Mm,
medical doctor, DO, acupuncture physician is in the state that we're in. That's the license name is in Florida,
mm,
and so I'll get a lot of referrals. And what they're looking for is usually correction of a particular disorder that has eluded that practitioner, or looking for basic information to now make sure that their body is aligned. And in the case of newborns, because I do a lot of newborns, then we prepare them for their first introduction to certain foods. So
mm,
usually that's right around 6 months old.
mm,
So if we body type this young individual early on, then we can start them on the correct foods, and then they had never have any issues with over cholesterol production, weight problems, any of these kind of things, because now they're on the right track and they start off on the right track.
mm. Yeah, thank you again for that. Before we go further, I wanted to ask you, how did you get into this realm and into this bubble of exercise and everything else? I mean, who are you? I mean, how did this start? This whole thing. I mean,
Well, for me, it
you just wake
started.
up in the morning saying that you're going to be a teacher, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm a retired physician from Florida, and I'm 26 years in this particular practice of Chinese medicine. So Chinese medicine, my background started um, with learning the traditional Chinese medicine format. Then, after a certain amount of time in the traditional college, our college had a sister relationship with a hospital in China. Then I
mm,
went and trained in a summer in China, and with that particular training, came back to Florida and started my private practice.
mm,
In that private practice for a few years, then I partnered with a medical doctor here, and we were in the first interdisciplinary practice in Central Florida.
mm,
And so we had a couple of medical doctors, myself, homeopaths, as well as massage therapists and a psychiatrist, all working under one roof, and we interreferred to each other.
mm,
So that's really where my journey went there. And then from there, after I retired, then I said, well, I have all these skills. What should I do with it? And then I just started teaching either my colleagues in the industry in different healthcare, whether it be medical doctor, you know, other acupuncture physicians. And then I also did, other types of clients that would refer to me if they were having some issues with different types of um, cases that, like I said, gets out of the purview of Western medicine. Where Western medicine stops, then Chinese medicine can keep going.
mm, mm. Yeah, thank you again for explaining who you are and
Sure.
what what you do and how you get into this. So thank you
Sure,
for that.
sure.
We're talking a lot about body types, right?
Mhm.
But the way I'm understanding from all this exercises and eating habits and whatnot, right? It's also a mental issue too, isn't it?
Sure,
And
sure,
how calm can you be? So can you
sure.
explain that it goes
So,
hand in hand? It's not always about body types.
well, it's not always once you understand your body type, even understand your mindset.
Mm,
So, the way that a deer may get up in the morning may be different than the tiger.
yeah, that's
Because
right.
your mindset is on, oh, you know what? I have to check out for predators.
Mm,
And then the mindset, oh, maybe have some prey today. So then the
mm,
idea is that now once you understand your body type and we deal with certain types of patterns that are consistent with that body type.
mm,
Certain body types are very focused and very logical. Other body types are very organized. Other body types are illogical. And they are what in certain societies would call lazy, but they just take a little bit longer to now respond. So all of that is normal for their particular body type. Once you understand that focus, now maximize that. Maximize the way that you choose to focus. Maximize the way that your lifestyle is going to be as far as your choices. So,
mm,
this is what we always do, we identify in our system who and what you are,
mm.
and then we focus on the main aspect of making you the best you can be.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that. And I want to share something very quickly. Almost 4 or 5 years ago, I went through some hardship of my body type. And what I have done is I lost almost 40 to 45 pounds. And after that, I felt great. I think it's more of a mindset, right? Just
Sure.
like what you explained. So you feel good, you feel great. Me walking up the steps and down the steps, I don't huff and puff anymore. I
Exactly.
I just keep on going. So I think it's more of a stamina that we get into. So I think
Sure.
you're absolutely right on that.
Sure.
And I want everyone to listen on that part that it is a struggle when you're trying to lose weight. It is a struggle to get into that mindset. It is a struggle to get into the nutrition side of things. It is a tough journey for everybody, whoever gets into this. So,
Sure.
yeah, I mean, contact the master, the teacher here, or you can just contact me, and we'll help out as much as I can. I mean, I'm not the expert, but he is. But please do contact him on that. So before you leave today, and thank you again for coming on Back to Basics. Do you have any last words to all my Back to Basic listeners and my viewers? And how was your journey on Back to Basics too? On top of that.
Yeah, so I mean, the simple thing is that if everything is not working for you, then start from the beginning. And that's one of the reasons why I went back to the body type system because, 6,000 years ago, this is what the ancients used. They
Mm,
always used what we called constitutional assessment.
mm,
What are you and why do you do what you do? So, in my practice, when I got frustrated with, oh, the acupuncture's not working, the herbs are not working, the massage is not working, well, why? Then I'll
mm,
go to my teachers and they say, always return to the original. And then when I return to the original, everything started to get back in focus again.
mm,
So
mm,
you're having an issue with anything, then stop for a moment, do an assessment, and say, okay, where did I go wrong? It's like, okay, I lost my keys. Then you left them in the house somewhere. Do you hang them up? What is your routine? You're like,
mm,
oh, I forgot. Okay,
mm.
back to basics. Okay, where do I normally put them?
Right.
And then once you do that assessment, then you're like, oh, okay, I won't ever do that again because why? I normally hang it on the hook. I normally do this. I normally do that. And then you keep everything simple.
Mm.
Everything like that in life works if you go back to basics.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here, and thank you again for supporting me on my small podcast that I have. And hopefully we'll chat more even offline. And
Yeah,
I was in Florida, I could have met you. I mean, it would have been really an awesome, awesome meet and awesome coffee to have.
sure.
Thank you again for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So, guys, we spoke with our guest today and we talked about the basics of body shame, right? Or the body types and the nutrition and what you need to do. It's all about mindset, isn't it? I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. I mean, I shared my story. So, listen to that at the beginning of the episode there. Now, as usual, as always, there's a quote of the day, and hopefully, my guest and everyone else, whoever is listening, will like this quote. And the quote is well, whenever it comes up, rest when you're weary, refresh and renew yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit, then get back to work. Now, guys, as usual, as always, what do we always say at the end of the episode? Everything in life goes back to basics, and that's what we did today, guys. Guys, take care. God bless. Keep on commenting on all my episodes because it does help me in the long run and makes me stronger day by day, week by week, because I do release every day. And we're almost done with season 2. And with your love and support, please do rate my show because it does make me strong. Now, there are 3 things, according to this episode, according to me, which is a hit, which is the content, the guest, and definitely the host. Guys, take care. God bless. Keep on commenting and stay blessed. Keep on listening to Back to Basics. And remember, there are 3 seasons that we're going to be coming up, which is next season, which is season 3, right? And the basic thing is that we're going to come out with 4 podcasts. And the main podcast is Back to Basic Mode Health. Subscribe to that, listen to that, and they'll be coming up with different stuff. So Back to Basics is coming out more simpler than basic. So we're coming out with 4 podcasts with your love and support. Is going to keep on growing and growing and keep on going. Take care, God bless, and see you next time on Back to Basics. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.
We don't give